In this video, we're going to examine how to create a frame generator skeleton file for utilization for placing in members inside of the frame generator toolset. So to begin with, I have two files open currently, the create skeleton 1 and create skeleton 2 IPTs from our working files directory. And here we're going to examine two different ways on how to accomplish the similar goal of creating a skeleton. In this first example for create skeleton 1, I'm going to create a skeleton based off of different sketches. So a skeleton can be generated in this manner for two-dimensional or three-dimensional sketches. What you're trying to accomplish is an overall skeleton of what your frame will basically look like. Currently, I have on the base plane there a sketch that is 2 meters by 4 meters. Now, what I'm going to do next is continue sketching, but also reference that initial sketch in different ways to make sure everything updates and is linked together. So I'm going to pick on this top plane here, work plane 1, and choose to create a new sketch. From here, I will project geometry of these edges of this rectangle. Also, the interior member here that I'm going to use as a supporting brace. I'm going to right-click and choose OK, and then finish my two-dimensional sketch. Next, I'm going to sketch on work plane 2 on the back side here. We just rotate this a little bit to see it better. I'm also going to project geometry here of these endpoints of these lines, and then draw a line between them. I'll just restart the line each time. Now, perhaps I want an angled support as well. So here I'll choose an angle reference between these points here and here. I'll finish this sketch. You can see the result. Now I'm going to sketch on the work plane 3 and do something very similar on this side. Now I'm using project geometry, so as the initial base sketch updates, so do all the projected references, and therefore my locations are all valid and sound. Here I'll just draw lines between these as well, and add my angular support here, and then also over to here. Now if I also wanted a support on the end between the top and the bottom, I'm going to have to go into my initial sketch here, or perhaps just create a new plane on this face over here that would represent that side of my frame. So let me do that quickly. I'm going to finish this 2D sketch. I'm going to turn off the visibility of these other planes just so they're not in my way. I'll start the plane command. I'll select this line in this plane with a 90-degree rotation as the default and choose the green check mark. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Now I'll begin a new sketch on these planes, project my geometry, draw in my line. Finish that sketch, and go to the other side. And we'll sketch on this back plane here. This was work plane 6 in my example. Check those and link them together with that line. Finish the 2D sketch. And I always like turning off the visibilities of these planes because I don't want to see them when I get over into the frame generated assembly and have to place the skeleton. I basically just want to see that skeleton. Now this is all connected with midpoints and geometric constraints to maintain a nice shape for this overall design. If I come to the initial sketch that's currently 2 meters and change it to 1.5 meters and update it, you will see that basic sketch update. Now the other sketches need to be processed as a local update from my quick access toolbar at the top of the screen to see all the other updates take place. Now what is nice about this way of building the skeleton, it's a little bit more work than what I'm about to show you, but it allows you to have just line segments to hook things together. And I did this all with two-dimensional sketches. I could have also done this with 3D sketches if I wanted to. Now in the Create Skeleton 2 IPT, in this particular case, I'm just going to go ahead and extrude this. And I'll have that go up 1 meter. I'll approve that, and also change this to a clear appearance style for my pull down. So let's find a good clear color. I'll just do clear. You could also probably choose a translucent color, whichever one you feel comfortable with. I just don't like it showing up as a very stark, pronounced color. Let's do a clear polycarbonate. Now, in order to get those extra supporting braces on here, I'm going to have to sketch on this particular solid. So here I'll sketch on this side and draw a line in. I'll sketch on this side, draw a line in again, and also down to that corner, and over to here. Anything that's an existing part edge, you do not have to do this to. The existing part edges will automatically get picked up with Frame Generator. Make sure I project that top point so I can hook on a coincident constraint to the midpoint there. Finish that 2D sketch. And also sketch over here. Now, I don't have to put in a connection between these two because I can actually use a point-to-point placement when I get the Frame Generator. That's an optional thing. If you want to put the line in here, you can. Now, since we did this as a solid box, this actually has mass to it. It has weight. That can throw off your calculations for mass when you get this over into Frame Generator. So whenever you use a solid in this particular scenario, you have an extra step in order to go forward. I'm going to go up to my Tools tab, choose Document Settings. On the Bill of Material tab, I'm going to make this a reference component. Therefore, it will not be calculated in mass calculations, and it will also not show up in a bill of material or parts list report. I'll choose OK to that. And I now have two different skeletons that really accomplish the same goal. I just went about them differently. Whichever way you'd like to approach creating a skeleton, whether it's by using 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional sketches, or whether it's by applying solid geometry and making it reference, you're going to have a valid result with Frame Generator.